The 69th New York Volunteer Infantry was formed on August 30th, 1861, formerly the 69th New York State Militia, which served from the initial 90-day service and participated in the Battle of Bull Run. At Bull Run, the 69th New York Militia was one of the 3 regiments that staved off a total Union disaster, along with the 11th New York Fire Zouaves and the 14th Brooklyn Chaussures. The 3 regiments engaged in heavy fighting on Henry Hill, briefly pushing back Stonewall Jackson's men. During this battle, Colonel Corcoran was captured and Thomas Meagher was promoted to colonel. After this action, the 69th New York State Militia's enlistment ran out, and the 69th New York Volunteer Infantry Regiment was officially formed, commanded by Robert Nugent. Meagher was promoted to Brigadier General and was placed in command of the Irish Brigade. The Irish Brigade was assigned to the 1st Division of the 2nd Corps, Army of the Potomac. The 69th New York Infantry and the Irish Brigade went on to fight in all the battles of the 7 days, losing an entire company's worth at the Battle of Malvern Hill. During this battle, the 69th New York forced the retreat of the famed Louisiana Zouaves, leading Robert E. Lee to name them the Fighting 69th. In September of 1862, the Irish Brigade slipped back across the Potomac and into Maryland with the rest of the Army of the Potomac. It was there in the rolling countryside of Antietam, Maryland, that the 69th New York would become one of the most infamous regiments of all time. On the morning of September 17, 1862, 320 men and officers of the 69th New York left their knapsacks in camp and advanced toward the sunken road on the Union left flank, intentionally armed with the smoothbore M1842 Springfield, capable of firing buck-and-ball projectiles, which produce a shotgun-like effect. The Irish Brigade had a large capacity of firepower, advancing toward the sunken lane at the quick time. The regimental chaplain walked up and down the lines, administering the last rites to the regiment. The Irish Brigade held in the open in front of the sunken road and fired devastating buck-and-ball volleys into the Confederate lines. The sunken road quickly began to fill with rebel bodies, turning into the bloody lane. After all 40 rounds were fired, the regiment fixed bayonets and prepared to charge, shouting their infamous battle cry, "Fa-a-bala," meaning clear the way. They charged the rebel works. The remaining rebels were caught off guard, not expecting the battered Irishmen to be so bold. They quickly fled, fell, or were captured. It had been a great victory, but had come at a cost. A total of 8 color bearers had been shot down, and 201 of the 320 officers and men were killed or wounded, a casualty rate of 63%. However, the rebels had suffered much worse. According to the eyewitness reports, the entirety of Bloody Lane was covered by rebel bodies, covering nearly every square inch. The Irish Brigade would go on to further fame that December. While charging Marie's Heights at Fredericksburg, the Irish Brigade's charge was the most successful of any Union attack, but they were forced to fall back after making a gallant stand. The brigade suffered over 70% casualties, and only 1 officer from the 69th New York was left unharmed. By the end of the war, the final casualty count for the Irish Brigade was over 4,000, more men than had mustered at any point during the war. The 69th New York wore plain, standard federal uniforms with the state of New York belt buckles. Their primary weapon was the smoothbore M1842 Springfield, purposely chosen due to its excellent close-range ability. This was due to the 69 caliber buck-and-ball shot, consisting of 1 69 caliber lead round ball and 3 30 caliber buckshot balls. The 69th New York flags was a thing of beauty. A large green flag with the Harp of Erin centered, surrounded by the 1st Regiment Irish Brigade, and a motto translating to "Who never retreated from the clash of spears." You can find the 69th New York with the 8th Ohio attacking the sunken lane. Now what would you do? Shout Fa Bala in charge of the Confederates, or send the Irishmen back across the pond?